Good Sunday night, everyone. I'm WCIA 3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We are live for Sunday Night Live here every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. We join around the digital roundtable, get to spend a little more time talking about the weather for the week ahead compared to the few minutes, the 2 or 3 minutes that I'm given for during the newscast. So this week we've got a great show lined up for you. We'll learn some things, talk about the weather. Pretty quiet week ahead here as far as it goes, but we'll get down to details and talk about things. I want to make sure first off, you'll notice here on the right side of your screen, what you can do is over here, you can put your comments, your questions, and let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to see where you're checking in from on our platforms, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, or maybe you're watching from the app as well. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm hoping you can hear me just fine too. And I'm not seeing much of the way of numbers like I normally do, so any comments that you guys have would be helpful to make sure that I sound good, my audio is loud enough for us to hear, and also that you are able to hear me as far as it goes. So, seeing some folks checking on in here. Thanks, Gloria, for checking in. We've got Joyce up in Gibson City, Rick in Tuscola, making sure my sound is loud enough too. Last time someone said, hey, make sure your audio is up all the way. So I want to make sure that I have that loud enough as well. So check in with this. Let me know any questions you have. We will be sure and answer it. Folks saying it sounds great, so we'll go ahead and get down to business. I got a great show for you tonight again. We always have a great time, but this is an extra great time because there's no severe weather, no dangerous weather coming for us, so we get to spend a little more time learning than we do forecasting. Here's what I got for you tonight. So we'll talk about the rain exiting the region tonight. It's been kind of a dreary, drizzly day in central Illinois. Monday, though, may bring us a phenomena called Virga. We'll talk about it and what the setup looks like for as far as it goes here. Wind overall sets the stage for our forecast this week. We'll talk about that and why the dew point value really tells this story for us as far as what we expect with temperatures, rain, etc. We overall have a dry week ahead. We'll take a look at rain totals as well as maybe some more rain on next week. And then spring, maybe it's on hold as far as the warmth and storms that we're so used to seeing this time of year around here as far as it goes. So thanks to everyone over here, all of those comments you can see checking in. I appreciate that. We love hearing from you as well at WCIA. If you ever got a cool weather photo, send that our way, a report. We love hearing from our viewers. We think you're the best and the greatest here in central Illinois. Let's jump down to business while we can, and I'm going to turn the chat off there. I'll have it on the side so I can still see your questions. We're going to start talking about the rain tonight and how it's on the way out. Good riddance. Here we are sitting at about 8 o'clock. There's some light showers still on the board here, and this is setting up pretty well with current radar. Of course, if you're wondering about the radar, you can always check it on the WCIA 3 weather app whenever you need to. Some clear skies starting to build on in to the west, and that will continue slowly but surely. By midnight, maybe a few little spot showers and some drizzle still under these low clouds here for Champaign, Danville, Watseka, Paxton, Milford, over into West Indiana. Maybe even a little stray sprinkles in here, but the general trend by 6 a.m., most of it out of here. Notice, though, 6 a.m., there's still some cloud cover in Iroquois County, Vermilion County. We may hold the sun back a little bit for you in the morning, but we think tomorrow is going to be overall a sunny day. What happens with clouds at nighttime is clouds often act as a blanket. It's not a very warm blanket, but it's just enough to keep temperatures a little higher than those of us with a clear sky tonight. So we've got low 40s, more middle 40s on the board here. If you see a clear sky at night, temperatures will go lower than if you had cloud cover, kind of heaping some of that heat close to Earth. And so we think Watseka may only drop down to 46, Springfield probably 41. We may get a spot in the upper 30s out there tonight. That's our forecast. We got sunshine coming, but then Monday may give us the chance for what we call Virga. It's kind of a weird little term. Virga, what does that mean? Here's what I want to do for you is paint the atmosphere. We're looking at the ground straight up. So if you look straight up, this is a profile of the atmosphere. It's called a sounding. We've shown you this before for different events like severe weather, rain, things of that. Tomorrow will more than likely have a nice bright blue sky for us here. And one of those main reasons is because we've got a lot of dry air in place. Our green line, the dew point, our red line is the temperature. It's often called a skew T because the lines, if you've got kids who have gone through geometry or math in school, algebra, their graph paper almost looks like a grid. What we do here to get a better look at it, we have to skew our lines down a little bit. And so the 60-degree line, instead of being straight up and down on the y-axis, it's kind of at an angle there. So there's 60 as far as we go. So here's 20. So at 1 mile up, that's 20 degrees, but at 5 miles up, 20 degrees is all the way over here. That's because the atmosphere cools as we go up. So it gives us a better way to portray what is happening in the atmosphere. So tomorrow should be good. However, what may end up happening is there's just enough little moisture right here, and I think if we can get surface temperatures a little warmer, that may help give a little bit of rising motion and may give us what we call Virga. You've seen it before. It's nothing dangerous, and often they'll give us really cool photos out there. You have these little cumulus puffy clouds up there, and beneath them, you'll have some wispy streaks that come on down. It almost looks like someone took a comb and just kind of brushed downward on that from the cloud there. There's wispy streaks, there's rain falling, and what happens is as that rain falls, it hits that dry air, that rain evaporates, never makes it down to the ground. So we think tomorrow is dry, but maybe gives us a cool little atmospheric phenomenon. You can look for it in the sky. Maybe I see someone, Steve Anderson's flying home, so flight would be good in the morning. Probably think the Virga may be more late morning into the afternoon once we get a little bit warmer. Dry air keeps us dry, and really I think a blue sky tomorrow, so not worried about it as far as it goes. This is what it looks like. You've probably seen this. Now that I bring a picture and identify it for you, oftentimes it's either altocumulus or cirrus clouds high up there, and there's these little wispy streaks that come on down from it. That's actually either rain or sometimes, if it's high enough, little ice crystals that are coming on down here. So this may be something you see tomorrow. If you see it, snap a photo. Send it our way. It's called Virga. Kind of sounds a little dirty, doesn't it? There's some dirty weather terms out there, I tell you. All right, so here's why I think we may get that. Future Track kind of hinted on it a little bit here. Notice by noon, it says, hey, look, there's some green showing up on the board. I don't think that's the case as far as it goes. Yes, it may be there, but radar again, and oftentimes if you see something, that dry air at the ground is going to eat away at it. So we think tomorrow is going to be mostly sunny. A few passing clouds and maybe a little bit of this Virga falling here, which keeps just rain up high, maybe a little ice falling up high, but nothing making it to the ground. I got a warm day for tomorrow, in fact, across here. We'll show you that in a second. But notice here by the evening, it goes away. So we'll wait and see if that happens. Oftentimes in the back of low pressures, when you have cooler air aloft coming on it, sometimes you can get that. You normally see it a lot in the fall. That's when I grew up remembering it as far as it goes. So that very much, that's something where I remember usually in the fall. You get that nice purple sky, the purple clouds or whatnot. My grandma told me about that, and you see that around then. So really Monday, going to be fantastic. Here's what I got as far as the planner goes. We're going sunshine start to finish tomorrow. Those temperatures climbing into the mid, maybe upper 60s in a few spots out there. Winds will be a bit breezy out of the west during the day, and there will be some clouds that fill on in. But I really just am optimistic. I like to be optimistic, right? A lot of sunshine as far as it goes. And so we'll continue to watch that here. And see if we can't get maybe some small little either cotton ball clouds with a little Virga, but no rain making it to the ground. So great day for us as far as it goes here in central Illinois. Here's a look at those highs into the area for you real quick here as far as it goes. We've got 66 in Gibson City and in Tolono. Hoopston up to 68. Colfax at 66. How about 66 in Chatham? Pana. 66 in Mount Zion, 68 in Stewartson. Pretty nice day here, I think. I think what happens is I'll show you in a minute why the dew point's going to help tomorrow. 68 in Mattoon, 68 in Arcola, maybe getting to 70 south of Interstate 70. So pretty nice day on tap for us here in central Illinois. Let's talk about the wind and how that translates to the dew point here. The wind, first off, will tell us a big story of where our air is coming from. Oftentimes when we get a north wind here, usually a north wind is cooler air. Usually there's less moisture and more sunshine. I think the north wind wins out this week. It's a general broad brush. It's not always the case, but I think in this instance, we're looking at the wind being more northerly than southerly. When you get that south wind, you can pull in that Gulf moisture in place here. The dew points climb up. We usually get a nice south wind in the summertime when we get those dew point values into the 70s out there. It gets sticky and humid. Your moisture is sourced from the Gulf of Mexico. That's to the south of us. You got to get a south wind to pull that on in here. And sometimes you can get some cloud cover with that. So let's talk about the wind direction here. There's wind gusts Monday and Tuesday. Notice they're more west, a little north. So we're pulling in some drier air in place here. Even Tuesday afternoon, still more west, but I think there's a little north component. The reason being is we're pulling in all of that air behind the low pressure that's come on in here. What's going to happen then, I think by Wednesday into Thursday, you'll see the wind turn even more to the north. There should be a weak but dry cold front that comes on through. All that does is reinforce dry air in central Illinois. You can really notice on Thursday, there's that north wind, and we'll see some wind gusts of maybe 15 to 20. Fairly breezy out there, but the wind tends to relax as we head into the weekend here. Still north, a bit north component into Saturday as well. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, north wind, drier air. Here's a way to prove it. We're watching our dew point values. This is it right now. You'll notice our scale. This is the scale we use at the top. And why don't I pop that up so you can see it a little closer. The scale, we start thinking about the dew point normally when we're forecasting at 51 degrees and above. This is not temperature, this is dew point. What dew point is it's a very good way to represent how much moisture is in the air. When you get below 55, the dew point, it's dry, it feels awesome out there. We start feeling pretty cruddy when we get into the humid and miserable range there. 65, 70 degree dew points, that's something you don't like. If you've ever been down in the south in the summertime, it is hot and sticky, those dew point values, way up there. We're looking below our scale there. I'm just using this as a reference point here. Notice dew points now in the mid to upper 40s. But watch what happens when we look at the future track here. By tomorrow, dew point values fall all the way down into the 30s. Some nice dry air in place. Maybe not quite dry enough to make it where you have to use chapstick all the time. But that dry air is good if you're looking for sunshine. And so I think this is going to help us here. This is Monday. Dew points in the 30s. How about Tuesday? Still in the 30s. In fact, some of these dew point values get down to 34, 33, 31. That's some pretty dry air in place. One thing when you have this type of pattern is we'll forecast our lows based on the dew points. Your temperature can't ever drop below the dew point values. So what will happen is while we've got dry air at night, our temperatures can drop pretty quickly, but dry air will heat up faster during the daytime. And so our temperatures still overall can usually get up pretty good there and feel pretty mild. So I usually like to advertise when we've got dry air in place, we've got mild days and cool nights. And I think that's the case for us this weekend. And dry air also is good to keep rain away. So here we are on Wednesday. After that weak cold front comes through, dew point values into the 20s here. If we have to watch for frost this week, I think the one night maybe we'd have to watch. And at this point, it's a little far away to know. Our dew point values are falling into the upper 20s and low 30s. So there's the floor that opens the opportunity for frost. Generally, you look at 34, 35 degrees as your bottom point there. So we've got a window of opportunity maybe Wednesday night for a little frost. We'll watch it. I'm not worried about it now. It's just something to keep an eye on. Still Thursday, dew points in the 30s. Friday, dew points in the 30s. Saturday, they'll creep up a little bit. We got some dew points back into the mid to upper 40s out there. A little bit of moisture, but we're still well below our scale. So it's not overly a concern here. And then by Saturday, Sunday, that is, they drop back down. So that north wind brings dry air. That's great for us. We love that here. So we've got cool nights and mild days ahead here. In fact, Monday probably the most mild day. That weak, dry, cold front will bring, I think, some maybe cloud cover, which may limit our temperatures into the middle 50s on Wednesday. Average highs this time of year should be in about the low 60s, lows at night near 40. And so very much so fairly seasonal ahead here. 60 on Thursday, 63 on Friday. Dry, we'll take it. I mean, this is a pretty great week here, pretty quiet as far as it goes. So that's what we like to see here in central Illinois. Let's take a look at future track and show you a little bit here about what we expect again. There's this area of low pressure. It's been a headache for us, just having to wait for it to get out here. Pretty decent one, too. We got some lingering showers in the backside. It finally carries away. There'll be another piece of energy that develops to our north. That snow doesn't come to us. It looks a little close here. But this high pressure is going to help bounce it away, I think, and keep that moisture to the north and east of us. So we'll be dry through Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday and Friday. That high pressure eventually erodes away. I think the next chance for rain, at least on an area-wide scale here, will probably be Saturday. But even then, the air is still dry enough where if we do get rain, light showers on Saturday. I don't expect a gully washer out of it, but that's what we'll be watching here on Saturday as far as it goes. Maybe the one opportunity for some rain this week. Here's a look at future track rainfall through the next 7 days then. Notice these amounts out there, less than a half inch in most spots. Many spots are down to a 1/10 with some spots even less than that. So the dry air will give us good sunshine Monday, Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday, Thursday, depending on cloud cover with the weak cold front. And it also will keep the chance for heavier rain away with the next system coming in on Saturday. So this should be a pretty good week for us here in central Illinois as far as it goes. So we don't have to worry about snow based on my forecast. Maybe frost Wednesday night behind that cold front. Maybe. That'd be the one day I'd watch out of all of them. All right, so with dry air, we're seasonal. Where are the 80s we had? Where's the 70s and 80s we had that we enjoyed, was it a few days ago or last week? This is the 8 to 14 day outlook. The suggestion still remains below normal temperatures, which with average highs in the low 60s, it'd probably be some more 50s and 60s for highs from April 19th to 25th in general. Could we get a warm day in there? Sure. Could we get a real cold day in there? Sure, that's entirely possible. But the general point when we start looking beyond that 5 to 7 days, that 7-day forecast is, what's the big picture suggestion? And I think we're going to keep seeing more of what we've seen this upcoming week in the forecast, because not only are we looking cooler, but the 8 to 14 day outlook for precip, April 19th through 25th, the odds here are below normal for precip, drier than normal weather expected. So we may have to wait for some of those April showers to return. Maybe Saturday, some light rain showers or drizzle like we're seeing. But this pattern is supportive for some mild, maybe slightly cooler and more sunny days here. Some nice weather, frankly, compared to what April can do in central Illinois. So if you're looking for spring storms, we may have to wait. I don't think anyone is, though. Can we get something during this time period? Sure. But the odds are against any sort of big, impactful system. You know, we get that little passing, weak system Saturday that brings some drizzly showers and light rain. We may get something more like that, but the extended outlook at this point really, I think, suggests that it's going to be quiet, perhaps even into the end of April. This is what I had a couple of weeks in a row, said, hey, quiet pattern through mid-April. That's verifying, but the second half of April, we thought maybe it would get a little more active. This quiet pattern, winning out. So it may not be until May that we start to see a more active pattern here in place as far as it goes. Of course, I always like to say, time will tell. The weather will humble you and be right. The weather is always right 100% of the time. Us meteorologists, we're right 50% of the time. So there you go. That's what it is. All right, so that's what I got for you tonight on our digital show. Again, we do this every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. A lot of you like to join in, ask questions, kind of get a little in-depth look into the weather. We're going to do that here because I'm not having time cues from Jen Lask and Mark Maxwell being like, come on, we got news to talk about. This is our time for weather, so we're going to talk a little more in depth. It seems like we've been more active in recent weeks, having rain and systems pass on through, even the chance for some stronger storms, but we're kind of entering a bit of a quiet stretch here with nice, mild, sunny days this week, I think. Maybe some cloud cover Wednesday, Thursday. If we have to watch for frost, that would be a Wednesday night, more than likely, with those lows. I think I got it down to 36 on my forecast sheet. So we're kind of getting in the neighborhood there, but nothing concerning. I don't have a hard freeze. That's good news as far as it goes. So that's what we got. We talked about the rain exiting tonight. It'll be out of here by 4, 5, 6 in the morning for areas east of 57. Some lingering cloud cover may be possible in the morning hours early. Some of you early risers out there, but I still think tomorrow brings lots of sunshine. Maybe a little Virga. Again, what that is rain that falls and evaporates before it makes it down. Those wispy little streaks that look like they're coming out of clouds. We'll wait and see if that ends up happening. Hard to forecast, but you kind of look for some of those hints, and there's a few hints in there for what it is. Wind sets the stage. It's more north and west this week, meaning drier air, and those dew points are really reflecting that here. Dew point values only in the 30s, even 20s at times this week. Really means rain is hard to find this week as far as it goes. And usually when you've got air that is that dry, you'll have more sunny days than not as far as it goes. Next weekend may bring some rain. It'd be Saturday, I think, the way things are looking now. Still a ways off, but because we've got such dry air that sticks in place into early next week, and maybe a little beyond that, with that north and west wind, any rain would likely be either drizzle or light showers. I wouldn't expect any thunderstorms. I wouldn't expect anything severe. It just doesn't, you need some moisture for stuff like that. We don't really have a lot to go around as far as it is. And then spring on hold, we talked about the 8 to 14 day outlook, looking cooler and drier than normal, much like this week looks. So we may by next weekend get to say, hey, just repeat that forecast. Overall dry with some sunshine there, but we'll keep an eye on it. We're always watching. We always got you. We're keeping an eye on things as far as it goes. So pretty quiet week here. We're going to flip back to the comments, see if there's any questions or comments. If not, that's our digital show. Some of you will probably bolt it. Some of you love to stick around for the comments and questions as far as it goes. And we appreciate it. So thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next Sunday night at 8 o'clock. But look tonight as well on TV at 9 and 10 for the full forecast. Or you can always go to the website, the app, and check it out there. Karen is checked in from Danville. We got a Myrtle Beach checking in here. Jackie. I think there was some rain down that way last night as far as it goes. Sally's watching from Facebook in Danville. We got Champaign checking in. Allerton. You know, my high school ag teacher is from ABL, Littlefields. Mr. Littlefield was the ag teacher at ABL a long, long time ago. Of course, now they're part of Heritage, and that was Littlefield Senior. My teacher, Mr. Littlefield, lives in Gibson City now. Jill's watching from Georgetown. Hey, Jill, we got Marty down in Greenup. Chalono checking in. Vicky checking in from Champaign. Nicole in Stonington. We got Janet in Farmer City. You know, something I learned this week, and I don't think I knew the official number. We have a forecast area of like 350 towns. So it's always cool to see where folks are checking in from. Kathy in Danville. We've got Matt in Decatur. Steve in Dakota down in Louisiana. Give me, if you can, Steve, bring me back some crawfish boil stuff, you know. Some gator sticks. Boy, I miss being down in the South a bit when it comes to the food. Hope you have a good time down there. Becky in Watsika checking on in. I had a question about the lunar eclipse. When are we going to have the lunar eclipse? I think it's May. We've got one coming up in late May. The solar eclipse, the big solar eclipse, actually in 2024 will cover up Terre Haute, 100% totality. That's in 2024, April of 2024, 3 years from now. The lunar eclipses are more common. That will affect us, not affect us, but we'll get a look at it in late May. And we'll keep you updated on that, some of that cool spacey stuff. Judy asking about Virga again. We talked about how that's those thin, wispy clouds that you sometimes see. So Steve, you're going to have a great flight as long as you put some gator jerky in your luggage for me. Samantha, fingers crossed for nicer weather. We got it this week for you, Samantha. Yeah, today was a bit dreary, drizzly, and cool out there, but tomorrow should bring some sunshine and make things nicer. So, you know, it's not the greatest of days for us here. The cold and rain, kind of depressing. We'll have some more sunshine days. So I think some warm days and cool nights, some mild days and cool nights on store for us here in central Illinois. Will we get a freeze warning or a frost advisory this week? One thing about those is freeze warning, you got to get down below 32. Usually they like to issue those more when you're at 31, 30, 29 even. And then frost advisories is usually 35 if conditions are right for it. For frost to form, you've got to have calm wind and you've got to have temperatures getting down in that range. We'll be close Wednesday night. They usually don't issue it during the winter because that's not the growing season, but the latest from what I understand is they're now saying we're in our growing season for 2021. So these alerts here may be something that could get issued. If they are, you'll get the first update on your app. We'll let you know, but I think the one night maybe, probably for a lot of us, won't have to worry about it. Watch Wednesday night for maybe the chance for some frost. Champaign County weather looks fantastic, Victor. I got no problems this week. We got some light rain out there tonight, but that's all we got. We got those full forecast updates on the website, on the app. I'll have it again at 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. Ooh, this is a great one here. Matt, might be some good weather this week to enjoy some custard from Jarlings or Creckles. Jarlings in Champaign, they've got a lemon custard that I really like. And then Creckles is in Decatur. I've been to the one in Mount Zion before. So yeah, you know, especially tomorrow probably. I may have had some ice cream tonight. I'll tell you what, here's a good place to go if you're looking for food recommendations. Gelato, there's a place in Lincoln Square Mall, Baldorado's, really good. Their food's great too, but that's my recommendation. I'm always up to sharing food and recommendations for it goes. And then Victor asking again, just posting about another eclipse there. Yeah, we'll have a lunar eclipse. What the lunar eclipse is that the Earth's shadow covers the moon, partially or totally. We'll have one in May. I think there's another in November. I don't know if that one affects around here. I don't know I haven't looked at the exact details. Lunar eclipses are so-so. Solar eclipses are the cool ones. Was that 2017 we had a really good solar eclipse? It may have been 18. I don't remember. A couple years back, the totality was like Nashville and whatnot. Southern Illinois, Carbondale, I think, had it too. So those are usually pretty cool. There'll be another one like that with totality pretty darn close in 2024. So we only got 3 years to wait. Something to look forward to, right? There it is. All right, y'all, that's what I got for you tonight. If you missed out on this stuff, we can go back and watch this. We usually spend about a half an hour on Sunday nights around the digital roundtable for our Sunday Night Live. Maybe we'll have to get a better name for this. It's a lot of fun, but we can talk a little more in depth around our digital roundtable of the weather, more than the 3 minutes that Jen Lask lets me have on the weekends as far as our show times. And we can spend that time, chat, ask questions, connect a little more as far as it goes. Hope to see you tonight on the news at 9 o'clock on WCIX and 10 o'clock on WCIA. We'll have updates through the week, but really it's quiet this week as far as it goes. So enjoy the quiet weather here. The coolest day would be Wednesday behind a weak but dry cold front. Rain chances look to hold off until Saturday. Take care. Download the app. We'll see y'all tonight at 9 and 10.